Rashida Jones is an American woman living in Japan trying to unravel the mystery of what happened to her husband and son. Let's talk about the Apple TV Plus series Sunny. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my TV review for the Apple TV Plus series Sunny. This was canceled after one season, so there are just these 10 episodes now for your viewing pleasure. And I didn't get through the series. I bailed about halfway through, and we'll get into the reasons why here. But I understand that it does end on a cliffhanger, setting up things for season two. So if you are one of these people who needs the closure of a series, this might not be for you anyway. But in any event, I decided even before knowing that to sort of bail on it. So I got through 5 of the episodes. So I gave it the old college try with half. But we'll talk about sort of the failings of this series and why I couldn't make it through in just a second. First, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are a subscriber of Dan Reviews It already, thank you so much for that. Appreciate you guys coming back and checking out my videos. But if you're not, please consider subscribing and click that notification bell as well. And you can just like this video or comment below. That stuff, of course, helps the channel out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm. Okay, so Rashida Jones in this is Susie Sakamoto. So she married a Japanese man, and so she is living in Japan, but her husband and son vanish in a plane crash, and she is sort of looking for answers. Obviously, she's feeling a lot of emotions, but her husband's tech company that makes robotics and AI and stuff, sends her own AI robot called Sunny, which is where the series, of course, gets its name. Joanna Sotomura is the voice of Sunny, and she is really a domestic assistant paired specifically for Susie. And so this show, explores a lot of the AI sort of takeover, and a lot of the tech stuff that goes with that, and sort of the futuristic feel of what we can expect maybe from domesticated robots in the near future, but really at its core, this is sort of about this mystery and what happened to her husband, to her son, in this plane crash. And so we are exploring that while sort of getting to know Susie as a character, getting to see Susie and Sunny relating to each other. She doesn't really like robots to begin with. She has a bad history with them. We find out a little bit about that in some of the early episodes. And so, all right, here's the thing. This is an A24 series, and of course, they are known for making films that sort of push the envelope, always giving us some original content. And I say this frequently about A24 movies. Even when they're bad, at least they're original. Usually there's something that they're trying, and maybe it just didn't work out. But A24 to me, usually stands for more original type of content, and this is pretty original, I have to say. And it's half in English, half in Japanese, not quite 50-50, but close to it. So if you are averse to reading subtitles and stuff, this might not be for you either. But this is definitely something unique, and Apple TV Plus has kind of, for me, been one of the homes of original content as well, in terms of something that doesn't seem like it was generated in a script factory, like a lot of the Netflix original movies, for example. Apple TV Plus, to me, usually stands for something unique, and this is that. And A24 brings us that as well. So this is something interesting, and I wanted it to come together a lot better than it did. The reason that I did not make it through all 10 episodes, I bailed after the 5th, is that the first 2 episodes I thought were very engaging, very riveting, interesting to see, before we even really start unraveling the mystery, interesting to see kind of the background of Rashida Jones's character, Susie, and kind of where she is in her headspace, dealing with the grief and the trauma of losing her husband and her son in the same crash, and dealing with that while trying to, appear to the outside world to be dealing with it just fine, but obviously internally, maybe not so much. I thought, okay, well, this is, we're going to deal a lot with grief and trauma, and that could be something very interesting. But it turned out to be more about leaving these breadcrumb clues for her husband, especially once we involve his robotics company and all of that, and sort of meet the people on the inside of that. The mystery wasn't compelling at all for me. And then we have, her paired with the robot Sunny, and she turns pretty quickly to maybe she still has a little reservation, but she really gels with this robot very well for somebody who in the first couple episodes we learn has all this bad history with them. So I'm not sure that worked for me either, but I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give it another couple of episodes. Let's see where this is going. And unfortunately by the end of episode 5 I just didn't care where it was going. So that's never a good sign. Now Rashida Jones gives us a good performance here. I really like the way she has been spreading her wings lately in terms of different types of acting gigs, different types of shows and movies. And I can see I mean, she never phones it in. She's always, giving it her best. I just recently rewent through Parks and Recreation, and I'll admit, she's not one of my favorite characters on that show. But the camaraderie, didn't seem faked at all. It seems like whatever she does, she puts herself in fully, and I think she is doing a good job here. But I think she is even probably a little confused about what is going on in this show, and what her motivations are, because some of the things that the character were doing, it just didn't quite make sense to me. So yeah, this is definitely an average to negative grade. But either way, this is a one and done season. We will not be getting a season 2 of this. So, if I had watched through the end, maybe I would be frustrated that they were setting up a season 2 that will never exist. That doesn't bother me as much as it bothers some people. But in any event, I will leave Sunny with a C minus. But you are able to check out the 10 episodes in their entirety from season 1 on Apple TV Plus. All right, thank you so much for watching Dan Reviews It, and we'll see you next time.